Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so back in action. After being in the house ducking the heat. It was 101 degrees the day before yesterday, 98 yesterday. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Stayed in the house, did a lot of art, some really good pieces too. Yesterday was a good art day. The day before that, I'd say, was a really good art day for myself. I also made 2 playlists in that span of time, both of them pretty good. K-list 388 and 389, I like them both a lot. So this has just been a good creative space for me to have been in over these last, say, 3 days or so. Yesterday I did laundry, you know, that kind of thing. Rested a lot, overslept this morning, which is why I'm getting out right now at 1:11 in the afternoon. But it's a little cooler today. Not cool in the grand scheme of things. It's probably about 88, 90 degrees, but in comparison to what it's been, you're happy for this weather here. But yeah, man, it's time to do some grocery shopping. Good news on the benefits front. They updated my benefits on time. They got to my account yesterday, as I had taken care of it on the 2nd, calling them and sitting down and doing all the stuff that was necessary on the 2nd. They were able to take care of it on the 6th, and of course the update was today, the 7th. So I never skipped a beat after all of that, worrying about it, stressing it and all of that, and then them denying my benefits and then me having to address it. It all boiled down to nothing actually changing. The day things are supposed to be updated is the 7th. Today's the 7th and it was updated. So I'm in great shape when it comes to that. In fact, I think they may have increased, if I'm not wrong, I think they may have actually increased my benefit amount for the month. There's a little more in there. It's about maybe like $30, $40 more in there than it was last time. I don't think I had anything left over. I think I had used it up and they gave me more. So I don't know if that's what I could expect or what, but more money is always good. I ain't complaining. And of course my GR was updated today as well. So I'm finally in a space after what, 3 months where I can say, all right, I'm okay, you know, that kind of thing. So I can't complain too much. How you doing? That's really what it comes down to, man. Sometimes things are getting worse. Sometimes you can sense it's getting worse, and then boom, God does something to straighten it out. And that's what it is, man. He straightened it out for me. I have no complaints. And you know, very thankful for my situation as it is. Given it's a Wednesday, the room day is on Friday. I'm sure my uncle will continue to help me through this process. As I'm praying that we can find a way out of it. I can find a way to relieve him of what's being asked of him. But you know, they're still helping me there, and I couldn't be more thankful. And I feel like I'm making the Lord proud as it pertains to where my spirit is at. You know, I feel like I have a good understanding of when the Lord is unhappy with me. And I also have an understanding of when I've been tested and when I've succeeded in passing the test. And that's really what this has been. I feel like I've been tested, and I think I've been doing well in those tests, answering the call, doing what I'm supposed to do. And so that's really what it is, man. I feel pretty good. As you can see, I shaved my face a little bit, got a little different look going on. What it really was is the mustache was irritating me. So it gets to a point where even though I like the look of the mustache, but once it starts getting to a certain point, it doesn't feel good on my face. That's God's honest truth. So I just kept this little patch. I like this growing out sometimes, and I do like the look of a mustache, so I just regrow it. But once it gets to that certain spot, that thing got to chop. So while I'm not in love with the chin patch by itself, it's necessary if you want to have them both going at the same time and don't want your mustache to overgrow. And given the fact that I'm not very good at trimming it, this is what it is. Cut it to regrow it. And so that's why I look the way I do. What else, man? That's pretty much all I want to say about myself, man. I really ain't got no complaints. Very thankful God sorted things out for me in regards to those benefits. It was a stress for me for almost a whole month, not addressing it, and then having the consequences of not addressing it knocked me on the head. Tried to set up an appointment for my doctor's thing yesterday. I talked to someone I used to work with at Apple Music. Not Apple Music, Apple Store. Way back in 16 when my mom was really ill. In the last few weeks of my mother's life, I worked for this company. And one of the people that I worked with is still on my Facebook and on my Instagram. So she had a situation where she had panic attack or something like that, some type of anxiety attack, which led to her being in the hospital, and she ended up having a colonoscopy. I don't know how to say it, colonoscopy or whatever they say that. Check the colon, everything's clear. But that was kind of like a wake-up call for me to call for a doctor's appointment. I spoke to her in her DMs, just wished her well, and she was telling me, that she had lost her brother to colon cancer. So I think that's what caused the anxiety attack that she was having, just thinking something was wrong with her colon with whatever signs that came her way. And it's one of those situations where I told her, I was like, I'm going to set my doctor's appointment up in tribute to what it is that we've talked about here, because as she said, her brother didn't check. And if he would have been someone who was willing to go to the doctor, maybe he would have had his life saved. But he was like me. He only put it off. And when they finally did check him, however it went. So it's one of those things where it's like, I tried to call yesterday in the afternoon. They told me to call back an hour and 30 minutes later, rather. I called back at that time, and it kept me on hold for like 20 minutes, so I just hung up. So I still want to do that. I'm still committed to getting my doctor's appointment set up, but I got to set aside some time to call, and I haven't done that yet today. But putting it off is a no-go anymore. I've had my signs for months, 2 years. I've been having issues that I know should have been addressed right away, and I just didn't, take care of myself. But I've been having issues, and it's like, at some point in time, you can't blame nobody else. But it's like, if you're ducking bad news, or you think it may be some bad news, it doesn't get better just because you don't know. Now, I am of this mindset that sometimes not knowing can make it so that you live your life a little more normally, because if you can manage, you don't have that mental aspect of, this is wrong with me and I can't get up, holding you back. A little mental fatigue, as opposed to, I am a sick person and I have to overcome the understanding of this. No, I don't know, so it ain't nothing. But when the signs are telling you there's something wrong, which mine has been telling me for a long time now, and they get progressively worse, and then you have good weeks and bad weeks, and that kind of thing is what I've been dealing with. So it's like, all right, at this age, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. And so that's really what it is for me. Now it's time to be more responsible. I'm going to be 40 in 2 weeks now, a little under 2 weeks. And I'd like to get a full life out of this thing if at all possible. So continuing to act like I don't have serious health issues, or things that could be potentially serious, just because I don't want to deal with it, isn't going to keep me going, ain't going to keep me alive. So while I feel great right now, I don't feel any problems. I've been having problems, and I know it. And last week wasn't great for that. The week before that wasn't great for that. And I'm constantly reminded, my body is constantly reminded that there's something I need to address. And I just kind of put it off. I don't talk about it. I don't think about it. I don't tell anybody. I just deal with it. And that is the essence of how people end up dying early. They do exactly what I'm doing. And I'm smart enough to know better. And so that's really what it comes down to. You just put an end to that, At some point in time, you have to hold yourself accountable for the selfishness of avoiding what would otherwise keep you alive, which would otherwise keep the people that love you in a space where they don't have to mourn you or worry about you or what have you. And that's really what it comes down to. I've been selfish in the sense that if I don't know, I ain't dealing with it. If I ain't dealing with it, I just keep going, and feeling good enough to move around and do all the things that I do every day. Feeling good enough most days to get out here and do whatever I want to do. It's good enough. It's like, if there were no doctors in place, how would I handle this? But that's not the right way to think about it. It's that you do have doctors, that you shouldn't have to handle it that way. And in tribute to those who are not in a position to go to a doctor, like a lot of people in Gaza and a lot of people on the street right now and all over the world where there's poverty but no doctors. You got to take advantage of what's there to keep you alive, man. And that's the maturity of and the courage of just buckling down and going to the doctors. No, I don't want to be probed. No, I don't want shots and all this different stuff that may be what's necessary. But I also don't want to find myself in a position where it's too late and I end up suffering. You know what I mean? Because of something I should have handled. So I encourage everybody else, if you want to do people like me, or like her brother, who think you can live just fine so long as you do the things that you've been doing. I don't think that's real. I don't think that is real. I'm one of those people that eat well. I don't think I'm in a great percentile of people who do. I mean, as it pertains to people who eat like me, I'm forced to eat this way. But I don't think the average American is eating apples every morning, bananas every morning, oatmeal, rice, no beef. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. I think most of us are going to McDonald's and Burger King. You know what I mean? And so if you're living like that and you eat like that regularly, it would behoove you to be in touch with your doctor. If you do normals, what America thinks is normal stuff, you drink beer. I don't drink no beer, you know what I'm saying? Drink no liquor. If y'all normal, you really need to be in touch with your doctor regularly, because a lot of the stuff that we consider normal is very, very unhealthy. And some of that stuff I just don't do based on the culture of my own mind. And I think that has helped me manage whatever would otherwise be going on inside of me. Because if I ate regularly, if I drank regularly, if I didn't exercise the way that I do, I think I would be in a much worse situation physically. You know what I mean? Much worse, given the same symptoms that I've been showing. So that's what I want to tell everybody, man. Take care of your health if at all possible. If for no other reason than to tribute to people who don't have an opportunity to do so, who don't have health care. You know what I mean? Who don't have the possibility of free health care if they need it. And they're out there who don't even have hospitals. You know what I mean? You talk about what's going on in Gaza. Israel then bombed all the hospitals. There's no working hospitals in the area for people who have all types of different diseases and ailments. There's no treatment. They're suffering without treatment. And so, you know, a tribute to those people. We gotta take care of ourselves to the best we can, to what's available to us. That's decency, I think. So that's what's on my mind, man. I wanted to put that in the video. And I have a few other things to say, but I think I'll leave that video at that. I think I'll leave you with that thought here. My name is BDF44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.